So I plan on making a video for you all today in my home with a really nice back setting. However, my kid is sleeping and I know that if I don't do it right now, then it's not going to happen. So I figured this gloomy day in Nashville, Tennessee would be the perfect day to talk about discouragement and finding your passion again. On these gloomy days, even if it's not actually gloomy outside, we can feel down and very discouraged. We lose belief in ourselves that we can actually make it to the top of this company, that we can actually be successful. We see other people do it and we think, oh, well, they have this and they have that. They can do it for that reason, but it'll never happen for me. And that's a really bad course to go down in your own head. And we've all fallen prey to it. It's not just you. In the beginning, it is very difficult. This business is. I'm not going to lie and say that it's easy, because it's not. I was there once. I started out with 0 ambassadors. I went to silver fairly slowly, and then guess what? I got stuck there. Just like many of you, the hardest rank is going from silver to gold, and many people get stuck there, and there's a reason for that. It's because starting out in this business is so incredibly difficult. You are doing so much work and you're laying so much groundwork, and you feel like you are just running and running and running on a wheel and you're not getting anywhere, because it's hard to see that the work you're putting in now is going to pay off down the road. You can't see that. You can't see that the work you're doing is immediately getting paid off. We're used to going to a job and working X amount of hours and doing X amount of things, and then we get paid for it at the next pay period. Well, with network marketing or with starting your any business, that's not how it works. You put in a lot of groundwork and you do a lot of work in the beginning, so many hours, and you're not seeing the paycheck for it. You work month after month and you're not seeing those paychecks that you expected. You may be thinking, well, I expected to be silver, or I expected to be gold or senior gold by now. You know what? I expected to be like emerald or sapphire by now. And you know what? I'm not. That's fine. It's totally fine, because you know what? I will get there, and it's going to happen. I can't control the timing, but it will happen. And so we all can fall prey to that. Just know that starting out is some of the hardest parts, because you're not making that paycheck yet. You're not seeing the fruits of your labor, and it can be so discouraging. So you may ask, well, what do I do when I get discouraged? Because I see this many times. You get discouraged and then you let that affect your business. You don't work for a week, and that looks really bad on you. Or you let someone say something negative to you and you let that affect your entire day or month or life. If my friend came and said to me, I hate Plexus, I think that it's silly and it doesn't work, I'm not going to like that. But I'm not going to let that affect whether I'm going to go home and work later that day. Because you know what? I know that it works. I know that I'm going to be successful. I've seen it in my friends. I've seen it for so many other people. And my thought process is, if someone else can do it, then I can do it. Get that in your head, okay? If someone else can do it, so can you. We all have the same compensation plan. We all have the same products to sell. Now, we all have different situations, but we don't know everyone else's situation. It could be harder for them in one area and easier for them in the next. So the best thing to do is find your strengths and hone in on them, and then determine what your weaknesses are and build those up, okay? You can do it. I know that you can. Now, for those of you that joined in the summer, I want to let you know, I did not know this before, but apparently August and September are kind of the graveyard months in network marketing. They are the slowest months, and we all have seen it higher up in the company. And so just know that August and September are not normal months. They're very, very slow, so don't let that discourage you. The next one that I wanted to point out is, if you've been doing the same thing over and over again and you're not seeing the results that you want, figure out what isn't working and then try to change that. look at how you're working your business, how you're talking to people, how you're marketing it, how you're portraying yourself. Figure out what isn't working and do something to change that. I'm still doing that daily. I'm thinking, how can I improve in this area? What can we do differently here to help so-and-so or to help the entire team? I'm still constantly thinking, where can I improve and how can I change? And that's what's going to propel your business forward. That's what's going to set you apart from everybody else. And then the last point is, when I'm discouraged, what do I do to kind of, like, when I get really, really down, what do I do to kind of get myself psyched up again and find that passion to put in the effort in order to be successful? Well, me, being the slightly vain person that I am, I think of what my diamond documentary will look like. I get really excited about that for some reason, and so I just, imagine, them following us back to college where my husband and I met, and then them filming, like, me and my best friends together, and just being goofy and silly like we are. That's kind of silly, but that's what really drives me. So you know what? If it works, then just go with it, and that may help you too. Another thing that I do is I look at it this way. Okay, sorry, I was looking at my notes. Some people told me, you'll never make it to the top, you'll never be successful, or at least I know that they think that. And I get really excited to prove them wrong. And, that may be kind of bad, but you know what? It drives me. If someone says you can't do something, don't let that get you down. Don't be like, oh yeah, you're right, I can't. Go out and prove them wrong and say, yes, I can, and I'm going to the top, and no one's going to stop me. And then another thing that I do is I look at testimonies. I think we are really changing people's lives with these products. They are doing a lot, not only for me, and not only for others, but for lots and lots of people. And so I keep that in mind, and that really helps drive me and push me to keep, working my business. And then the last thing that I want to talk about that helps me keep from getting super discouraged is falling back on my why. Now, we harp on this a lot. I say write down your why, and then we do it a lot in challenges. I tell you to make dream boards of what your why is, why you got into this business. Because on those days when you don't want to get out of bed and work, or those days where you don't want to get on that training call and be happy and excited, and those days when you just want to pull your hair out because your toddler has their molars coming in, but you have to work, you think about, why am I doing this in the first place? Because you don't have a boss telling you to go and work, and you don't have set hours. So I think about why I joined in the first place. It was for my family. It's so that we could be in a better place financially. It's so that we could have the freedom to do what we want. So whatever your why is, fall back on that on the days that you're super discouraged, and just keep going. I know that you can do this, because if I can do it, then anybody can. Okay? All right. Have a beautiful sunshiny day.